it's Mental Health Awareness Week. We're sort of just over halfway through Mental Health Awareness Week, and this year's subject is loneliness, and it's hashtag I've been there. So yeah, I want to start by saying hashtag I've been there. So I'm going to come on today and share a little bit about my thoughts on loneliness, and what I went through myself, you know, being lonely at one point in time. I honestly believe, like, loneliness, it can be a killer, you know, because it's one of the worst things ever. Being really lonely and feeling as if you don't have anyone around you to reach out to is one of the worst things, well, ever. Like, I've been there, literally. I have been there, and I'm sure many people who are coming on today or who will listen back to this have been there too. So I just want to start by saying how there's a huge difference between being alone and being lonely. So me today, I've been walking around, and a few people have asked where I am. So I'm in Oaxaca City in Mexico, and I spent the last, 5 hours maybe just walking around this beautiful city on my own, taking in all the views. And yeah, that's the meaning of being alone. I've been by myself. I've really enjoyed it. Hadn't felt the need to have anybody with me, you know. So that's the meaning of being alone. But loneliness, on the other hand, is something completely different. So yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit about my thoughts on loneliness and when I experienced loneliness myself. So back in 2018, or mainly 2019, after a relationship breakup with my ex-partner, I went through many months of mental misery. Where I was extremely lonely. I felt like I couldn't reach out to any single person that I had around me, because I honestly believed that they wouldn't understand what I was going through myself. So I kept it all inside, and I kept it all bottled up, which was the worst thing that I could have done. And in all honesty, I was really desperate. I was so desperate. I went from spending every single weekend and every single day and night, to be fair, in my house, sat there crying, to one point I went the extreme opposite, which was to go out clubbing every single night, and I'll be the last person in the club. And the reason I done that, because I was so desperate. And what triggered that for me really was, I saw, say, friends around me that were going out every weekend and getting slaughtered out their face, drink, drugs, etc. And I wasn't a big drinker, I'd never done drugs. And I saw these people, I saw the happiness, or perceived happiness, on their faces. And I thought, you know what, I need some of this in my life too. So yeah, I'd go out every weekend, and I started by just drinking excessive amounts of drink. This is the person that maybe drunk a handful of times a year, and now I was drinking a handful of times a day, sometimes a day. Literally, it was crazy. So yeah, polar opposite. And then it got to the point where I was that desperate for this perceived happiness, I did turn to drugs as well, and yeah, snorting cocaine for a few months on the trot. As much as it made me feel a bit better in the moment, I felt 10 times worse the next day. So yeah, that wasn't a fix at all. Maybe momentarily, sort of, to take the edge off, but no, I felt so much worse. So yeah, like I say, I was desperate. I was looking for happiness every single place, but other than from within myself. Because in life, if you don't go within, you'll end up going without. So yeah, what I was doing, I was just looking every single place other than from within here. I was looking for all this perceived happiness, when really happiness is homemade and it comes from within. And yeah, I was so desperate. Sorry, just bear with me, guys. Yeah, I was so desperate because at that moment in time, I was looking everywhere for the happiness, and yeah, I couldn't find it, obviously, because it was from within. But I feel like many people who are lonely, they feel the need that they have to be around other people. But if you become reliant on somebody else, quite often you'll be lonely for the rest of your life. So, I mean, some tips that I could give from my own experience would be to start by leaning into yourself or looking inside rather than looking outside, and looking at the stuff that you enjoy doing, not what other people want you to enjoy or what you feel like others would push onto you. Like, so many people just living it for somebody else other than yourself. So figure out what you enjoy doing and then start doing those things, because life really, I say, like, life is almost like a food buffet restaurant. Like, you need to taste the flavours of life. Go out there and just try things. You'll get two results. You'll understand the things that you do want or the things that you don't want, and then just do more of the things that you do want. So that's to start with. Also, I'll say to reach out to people online. Like, for me, it was a big first step to reach out to people. So if you're looking online and you see somebody who said that, I've been lonely before, or I was going through depression and I felt as if I was alone, but I managed to overcome it, reach out to them online, because I guarantee every single person that's been through loneliness and got through the other side will reach out, and they'll help you as well. So don't ever feel afraid to reach out, because I was like that once and I felt that there was nobody who I could turn to, when the fact is, there's, I believe, around 7.7 billion people on this earth, and you're telling me there's not someone that's going to reach out or reply to you reaching out. So yeah, definitely reach out. Don't bottle it up. And then I'd say number 3, think on paper, because my thoughts were going wild in my head, and literally my brain was just I couldn't even think, because all these thoughts were going around in my mind. So think on paper, get all those thoughts out, because this thing here, your skull, is solid, so the thoughts can only reach the walls of your skull. They're not going to go past your skull. So get all those thoughts out on paper and you'll feel so much better straight away, I guarantee you. And just realise, like, you are not alone. Like, believe me when I say you're not alone, because I honestly felt that for so long. I felt I was the only one. No one would understand what I've been through, and as much as all of our experiences or all of our problems in life are unique to us, they're all so similar as well. So I guarantee that someone's been through very similar to what you're going through now, if you're going through any sort of struggle in your life, and they will help you, because that's what kind people do. Kind people help each other. So yeah, definitely reach out. And if you want to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you, or to send you some info via social media. And then lastly, I'm going to say, anybody that's listening to this now live, or who will listen back to this, and if you've been through any, say, mental health struggles yourself, or you've suffered from loneliness and you've overcome it, I want you to comment in the video here, I've been there, hashtag I've been there, because that's the hashtag for this this year's Mental Health Awareness Week. So yeah, comment hashtag I've been there, if you're willing for anybody listening to reach out to you, and then the people who need to reach out, or who want to reach out to somebody, look for the comments in this post that says hashtag I've been there. Click on that person's profile and then send them a DM and reach out to them as well. So I think that would be a great thing to do, because the more people that can, say, be open to helping somebody else as well, the more people we're going to help. So yeah, reach out to each other, guys. You're not alone. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak soon.